Okay, yeah, this is totally going on my next compilation.
It's amazing. I would like just this vocal sample irritates me a little bit because it brings me to some other place.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really really amazing. Like if you
The
imagine like
Spanish part, you
Yola
mean?
Tango, yeah, the
The one that's
Spanish
like over the
samples,
top in the like in
yeah,
the mix,
the
very loud.
talking or the monologue,
Mm-hmm.
but it is great.
The
And
other
I'm
example, other voice sounds more like a Tom Yorkie kind of. Something I would hear
okay.
in
I
a
will
good way.
pretend I didn't hear this. Yes, no, it is beautiful, and also that's the magic of dance music. I mean, you don't need another layer. Like if you remember old Chicago
Yeah,
house tracks, it was just Farley funking with drums or something.
yeah,
Drum, you don't need it. It's a body music. It's a dance music,
yeah.
and I don't need something else.
The other,
Then
yeah,
it's not fish, not meat, nothing, but it's something that really made me happy to hear that. I mean the guitar acoustic side of it and this dance one,
killer.
it's
I want them all. I want
really
it both.
really good.
I want it both.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You can take it also. I was
No,
your work with
it's
Chicago
ridiculous.
Sunspots. Just please send it to discohalal15@gmail.com. Send me an email and we can speak about everything.
Super.
And how about your label? You're still working? You're still doing stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's yes, I do, and there is amazing music that is going to come out and often. Um, we were just facing so many delays last year
Yeah.
since the beginning of lockdowns and pandemic, and then suddenly you had something like 2 months of when distribution tells you not to press or order new records or something because the storage was full. They were basically selling way less. I think it kind of got back to normal in a way again. And also to record store day, there were insane delays. So the pressing plant that often uses, the last one, it took 12-13 weeks for a test pressing, another 12-13 weeks for a final release. So there is no release plan, and often there are 4 beautiful records coming out.
Can you
And they
spell
will
the
come
name?
when they are ready. The first of
The
those
artist.
4 should be out end of January, and it's a really really precious release. And then it goes whenever they are ready.
Can you send me promos also, or is it just?
Yes, yeah, I will. No, yeah, of course. I will. When
I want
when
to
you
hear.
finish
I mean, if
this.
you want to play something, also feel free to send me a link.
Uh,
We can play it later.
I don't have anything on. Yeah,
Don't worry.
I'll find you
Don't
somewhere.
worry about it.
But I'm not
We
here,
got enough music.
to promote often. I mean, either people find it at some point or not. There is
I
also
mean,
nothing to.
you have a core. You have a core.
Followers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably know all those 228 people
Everybody.
who buy often records in person.
It's like they come to your house.
Yeah, I mean, you see numbers from distribution. I mean, also, often it's rarely on Bandcamp.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get statements from distribution. You see the numbers. And kind of, yeah, most likely I know all those
Same stores.
people actually in person.
Stores and yeah, man, that's the one thing that I'm missing the most is what you guys have or had or still have in Düsseldorf and this kind of areas, which is smaller. It's not like being in Berlin or something. It's a smaller community that they don't have too much. How do you say the distraction musically? It's a very kind of keen crowd, especially in
Yes.
Cologne. That's like they come, they know, and they don't know what to expect, and they're very open for everything, which is amazing.
That was probably also the magic of Salon des Amateurs. Also, maybe the position of the city, the size of the city,
Yeah.
lack of those endless streams of tourists or expats that are coming in. The club scene basically does not exist or did not exist for us.
Yeah.
And maybe all this together. And I said this once, when I think about Detlef, Toulouse-Lautrec, Lena, Jan Schulte later, Arne from Teams for Great Cities, Lucas Kronau, and all those. I mean, it's already 3 generations
Yeah.
of people in 16 years already. You know, none of us was like house DJ. Then you have like 5 house guys
Yeah.
fighting who will get, no, it's completely different. So it was just this magical moment in history, or at some point, where we could have with each other, and then you suddenly discover insane amount of music through Detlef, Lena, Jan. You know, we are all coming from different backgrounds. You meet, and there are no secrets at some point when you spend the night together. And it was really, really beautiful. 15, yeah, something like 15, 16
Still
years.
open? The club is
Insane.
still open, right?
No, I mean, everything is closed at the
No, but I'm
moment.
saying before the corona.
Yeah. There was this water pipe damage, and
Yeah,
everything
it
had
was
to be
amazing.
renovated. So it was
Yeah.
closed for more than a year,
Yeah.
and then it basically opened short before Corona.
It will open again soon. That's the beauty about the small place like this. You can
Yeah. I
maintain.
mean, we'll see. Of course, it will open soon. But the main question for lots of those independent and small places is how long you're able to pay the rent. How long are you able to keep the place without any income?
Yeah,
And
you need
and
the government to help. So there's nothing you can do about it.
yeah, but it's also, this government help. Of course, it helps, but in a way, nothing we ever done was done for this government. So then, expecting this government to consider, our places as worth supporting, and not some other places that
Yeah.
they've been supporting last 50 years anyway.
Yeah.
Of course, I do hope. And the question is, is it some kind of bribe in a way? You get money from somewhere,
Yeah, I don't
you
like
don't
getting
want
money.
to have it,
Yeah.
and if you're then kind of somehow quiet when something happens, then your kind of moral right to be
Yeah.
angry and demand something is basically corrupted because you took money from there. I really don't know.
I
Every
think in
you
in
know I
in Germany, all I can say that bring us back the tax money. We'll do better. We'll be okay. Just pay us back the tax that we paid,
Okay, you're right,
and that's it.
but
It's okay.
probably
Just for this couple of years, give us the tax money. We'll do without it because the tax rates are very high, and it's a difficult thing to live in.
yes, they
And now
are.
here, a few DJs are suing the city because for the November 8th, for example, that came here, it was a joke. 500 euros, 400 euros for DJs that used to make 30, 40, that used to pay at least 20,000 euros in tax. So
Yeah.
it's not, it's a joke to even
So
think
we'll
about
see. I don't, in a way. Um, okay, how could I say this? I don't worry about people who were playing music, all their life. They will keep playing
it.
music
Yeah, of
under,
course.
difficult circumstances. But the places where this music was
Yeah.
being played and presented live, places like social places for people to meet each other.
But
If only Starbucks is the kind of public place left, then we
shopping
really
malls.
have a problem. Yeah, of course.
But
So
it
I
will,
really
there
do
will be new
hope.
places also. It's not gonna die. It's always been up. Clubs are always. I mean, in Germany it's different, but in Tel Aviv, for example, places are opening and closing every Monday and Tuesday.
Is
Monday
it?
and Thursday. Yeah, it's a normal thing. Most of the places don't survive 6 months. So
But
it's not
how's the situation there now? I mean, you're not
everything. I'm
there.
not
You're in
there, but
Berlin.
everything is
I know, I
everything
know.
is fucked. Like
Yeah.
literally. Like it's beyond fuck. It's a kind of new thing that they will need to readjust for everything. But at the same time, I would say because we're Pfizer's
Vaccine?
test country,
Oh,
we're part,
really?
yeah, because they're gonna give us because we're a closed country. You are a border country, so you can close all the borders with no problem, and you have 9 million people. It's a good test case for the vaccine to see if it's working or not, basically. So they're going to give us a lot of yeah, I'm not about it, I'm not for it, but this is how
Are
it
are people then forced to take it?
they
Like,
will be
if you
because
don't, you can leave the country.
they offer them now green passports, so you can go to clubs,
Yes.
you can go to restaurants, fuck it, unless
It's
somebody
interesting.
comes with
Yeah.
a needle to my house, I'm not doing it. Like literally, I mean, a needle and a gun. Like if I need to do it to save my life.
Yeah, I mean, you have plenty of other ways to use the needle, basically.
Yeah, I'd rather have it in
And
different things.
again,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Let's listen to some house music.
yes,
Why not? Somebody asks here, how did you find? Where was it? How did you discover Soba?
Suba.
Suba, sorry.
Ah, well, you know,
A
it was
Brazilian surf.
it was not a moment. It was not discovery. It was someone who made some music in former Yugoslavia, and there was even an LP released in 1987. Unfortunately, limited to 500 copies. But this was the guy who produced I mean, not lots of music, but some of important Yugoslavian wave stuff. Did lots of theater music and so on and so on. So basically. When was it? In 2013 or 14, there was a sampler from Slovenia called something like Yugoslavian tape, something. It's amazing series of things. I will try to find the link and then maybe post it here somewhere. And they had a track from Rexiluzivi, Suba,
Yeah.
and the photo of a tape. And then I thought, well, if some Slovenian punks have there, maybe there is some of this unreleased music or old radio music from the 80s floating around. Long story short, I found Suba's mother. He's someone who died in 1999.
Yeah.
And then there was insane amount of music, like 30, 40 hours of music that basically survived, that was not destroyed in a studio fire in Brazil. So it's, then it was simply like, human and historical duty to do something with this, not keep it on some hard disk, but try to release this, because it's also like a fantastic missing link in the history of European electronic music in a way.
Is there more?
Because if you imagine the time before, there is a lot. And then a nice label from Sao Paulo is working on a reissue of Dreambirds that was released in Brazil on CD in 92, but it was recorded in 1986, 87 in Paris. And there was a CD in 92 in Brazil with four compositions, but there are 6. So currently they are working on it and somehow trying to help with this, because it's a beautiful meditation music.
Yeah.
And then I'll see how much headspace I have for more Gilbert on Versatile released beautiful double 12-inch and sampler with some of the music from Suba Rexiluzivi archive.
Yeah.
So and there is more and more. There were three albums on Often. There was this one on Versatile, the beautiful sampler, and more will come. Because I always imagine, in times before internet, people would travel, they would meet each other, and they were in exchange. So and then lots of those influences in some other music, basically it could be Suba Rexiluzivi music. So it's nice to release it, show it to the world, and in a way, not even rewrite the history of European electronic music, but set something straight. Then you don't have to argue, you don't have to comment. You can release this album, everyone can hear it, and then
but I think influence, this world influence is like the flu. It comes from the same thing. You never know where it starts and how it works.
Yeah, of course. When you listen to some of Suba's music, it's Brian, David Byrne, John Hassel, and so on and so on. But it gets like
German for sure. German influences in most of the music that we like, especially in all the Cannes area, and then David Bowie, and then the New York scene, and Talking Heads, and this. It's like, of course, it comes. I don't know where it came to here from. That's the question, but I don't know.
So there is a lot, and for me, as someone being from the region or the country where this music was produced, it's also almost this funny historical moment that through releasing this music, you can simply show people that, in this country, there were not only cannibals and, wild animals and killers, but that kind of, beautiful stuff was happening there. But because the market didn't really exist, like in Germany, in England, or wherever else, lots of this music just, disappeared or stayed in memory. So now that we have possibilities to do something with it and release it, then also it hopefully, you know, puts some things in different, better
You,
perspective.
you touched a very nice, I call it nerve, but it's the same thing that I'm. People think that we, from people that make music in Tel Aviv, in my generation, now the younger people, I don't know why they do the stuff that they do, but when we were starting out, there was very good Israeli music floating around in Europe in the 80s, and then it died out. And then till I have to say, till in our kind of vibe, till Red X's and myself and other people in our group, came out. Most of what people thought about Israel is bad stuff. It
But
wasn't.
why? I mean, there was minimal compact. Okay, they were
Yeah, but that's
in
like
Europe, but it
80s.
is amazing.
Yeah, but that's 80s. It's
Uh-huh.
been 40 years almost from there, and the country went through a turmoil, and there was a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of hate, and a lot of, everything went right wing, and the classic stories of power. And but
Mm.
I'm happy that I made I made the world see that Israel is not only about war and hate and whatever, and there is music and there is creation from this world, and it's important to see it. That's all.
Good.
Okay, let's listen to music before everybody will leave us.
Okay, yeah, yeah, we're fucking sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's okay.